Paris Hilton is up there on the left-hand corner. When I collaged her in there, I had no idea who she was. And my wife asked me, why did you put Paris Hilton in your piece? And I go, who's Paris Hilton? My exhibition of Roots and Branches is kind of an overview of my work in the past maybe 15 to 20 years. It's a variety of media that I work in. It's also a variety of subjects, but mainly it's genre images, everyday life, from the Denver area to San Antonio, New Mexico, California, etc. My work here in this exhibit is about the collective, about the grouping, the families, the workers, the community, the kids, people going to school, people commuting, people talking. They're genre scenes. They're people in everyday life, in everyday sort of environments. There's a lot of sort of gesture or movement, so that people are actively talking, walking, working, bicycling, playing the accordion, etc. So it's very gestural is probably another word, or community-oriented, yeah. Probably another thing that's big influence in my work is growing up bilingually, biculturally. I mean, going back and forth between New Mexico and Colorado, especially a rural community and a very urban community, an urban community that's very diverse and a rural community that's more monolithic, because mostly Hispanics, Chicanos, Mexican Americans live in New Mexico, obviously with indigenous people. So I think those, just try to talk about what it means to be bilingual, bicultural. I think that's a big influence. It's what informs my work, right? If you take a look, it's what informs my work, because I'm interested in the community, right? Well, the title of this piece is called Dos Beans, and it has to do with many different things, but obviously Rowan Atkins, he played a character called Mr. Bean. And he basically acted like a 10-year-old, so he does all these silly things. And we used to, my wife, I, and my son used to watch him on PBS. And then he played another character in some other movie. I can't remember the name of this movie. So I peeled that poster off of probably 13th Avenue a few years ago. That's what I use. I'll peel posters literally off the walls when they get dated, and then collage them, because that kind of informs which community or what's going on in the community when you think about these posters or graffiti or things that I incorporate. I think as an artist, I work both objectively and subjectively. So I have to sort of go back and forth, like, oh, that green looks good, that red looks wonderful, that stroke looks great, or collaging this piece looks good. And then there's another part I sort of step back, and being more objective, I go, does that add balance? Do I like that texture in there? Is that too bright? Does it need to be more subdued? So those are elements that go into, when is a piece done or not done? Coming back with a fresh face, and then sort of looking at your art both subjectively and objectively.